Guys, episode 1 of the Life Behind the Bar podcast with your boys from Mustache, Mixology. My name is Mike.
And I'm Seth.
We are going to kind of dive into the world, I guess, of what it's like owning a mobile bar, what it's like working behind a bar. Combined between the two of us, we're at... No, I just pictured 19 plus 1. Combined between the two of us, we're at 20 years of bar experience. So it's just, if you haven't worked in the hospitality world, I feel like until you do it, you don't fully understand the weirdness and everything that is bartending, especially.
Yeah, I agree. I'm 1 year of that 20 plus, but I feel like it's been, I'd say 7.
Yeah, it like my 19 feels like I've been doing this for 100 years.
Yeah.
So even we'll go back to kind of how Seth and I met. We had opened a restaurant, and I had actually hired Seth to work there, and that was the first time we met. And we were only there for less than a year, and that year felt like 15. And that was like a running joke, I feel like, between a lot of people was like, oh, we only opened 7 months ago, because it felt so long ago. But it's just this is such a weird industry. So there's going to be a lot of kind of funny stories, and this first episode is just going to really be us introducing ourselves, introducing you to the business if you're not familiar with what we do. And then as things go on, we have some really fun guests lined up with local liquor companies, hopefully some breweries, people within the industry that we're just going to try to kind of pepper in and make it fun to listen to. But this one specifically will be pretty much an intro of myself, Seth, our business, what we do, and then the goal is to put them out once a week, but we'll see what happens. So it'll probably be every other month, especially as things get busy with what we do. But
yeah, and I think a big part of like the life behind the bar being like our lives, and behind the bar being at home, I guess. So then looking at us being homeschool dads, and running this at the same time it's a lot. But talking about doing a podcast once a week, and I'm like, man, when did we talk about doing this first episode? 4 months ago,
at least.
But that feels like we were talking about it last week.
Yeah. But time really does scoot right on by. But as he just alluded to, we'll kind of talk a little bit individually about us and what we do. So my name is Mike. Again, I've been in the hospitality industry for about 19 years, doing everything from serving, bartending, restaurant management, GM, helping open restaurant. And then now, since then, Seth and I have started a mobile bartending business called Mustache Mixology. If you are a close follower of what we do there, obviously you've seen the stash everywhere. We pretty much wear it on everything we do all the time. And now recently, another thing we started to do is we both are homeschool parents, and our kids go to like a co-op, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, like
kind of
like a in-school homeschool.
Yeah, so it's like an informal school once a week, and we actually teach a course. We do a life skills class. We both went through public school, and the big reason we wanted to do this is because going through public school, there's things that you don't learn that we felt like this is all our opinion. So you take this however you want. That we'll have to stress that multiple times. This is our opinion. You're choosing to watch this show. This is our opinion.
Disclaimer.
Big disclaimer. These are our opinions. But there's certain things I feel like going through public school you didn't learn. And so we want to teach those things. We teach from kindergarten to 8th grade. It still sounds weird to say. Like, we've only done it a few times, but it still sounds weird. But so we teach this life skills class, and then we run our bartending business. And we're still in somewhat infancy of that business. We launched it in May, but the reception has been, in my opinion, way better than I could have personally could have kind of hoped for. And so we're getting our events going. We do cocktail syrups. There's so much in this first episode, like you want to word vomit and get out to everybody. But we'll have to do it strategically so there might be some bouncing around a little bit, but so we bartend, we do cocktail syrups, we travel all around, we can go anywhere in the US really. Or we'll go overseas too if you want us to.
Yeah. I'm in.
Yeah, right. But we do anything from weddings, corporate events, groom's dinners. We did a fundraiser function up in the Twin Cities. And so really anywhere where you would like to have drinks, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, because that's a big part of our business, we'll come and do it. And so we live in the same community. I got a wife, 2 little girls, and we live in a town where I grew up in, and we would move back. We had met, and yeah, so that's a little bit with me personally, my background. I'll throw in, do we want to say anything with like school, college? So people know we're educated.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
Actually, with some of the stuff that probably will be said, people will probably be like, "Okay, who are these guys?" And there's no way they're educated, but we are. I have my associate's and my bachelor's degree. I worked in corporate advertising for a year, and then I quit, and I've been self-employed now, going on just about 15 years. Done everything from web design, print work, and then while bartending and serving at the same time. So I feel like I have a pretty well-versed background, and yeah, that's me. That's Mike. You'll see me on Instagram as Big Mike, Big Mikey Polis. You can't really, you can probably tell a little bit sitting down, but I'm a large human being.
He's massive. He's a massive human being. Yeah.
So that's me. That's Mike. And now learn a little bit about Seth.
Yeah, I'm Seth. I have been in the industry. I believe we first talked June of 2024.
Sounds about right.
So
it's a year, almost a year and a half.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah. So I am in the infancy stage of even being in the industry. But with that, I've worked as a bartender, server, cafe manager, restaurant manager. Moved up quick.
And I will interject, to not cut him off, but I will interject, even though he's been doing this that little bit of time, like for those of you that have either hired us for events or you were maybe our regulars at the restaurant, like you wouldn't know. He was very much a natural in this industry, and not even just the leadership part of it, but like the actual bartending part of it and what comes with it. Because you don't just make a drink and hand it off. There's so much more to it that we'll in time get into, but he is a very, very much a natural in doing it. So even though it's only been a year and a half, you would never guess that. So continue.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Nice. He's a nice big guy. Not a scary big guy. Yeah, I don't know. I really jumped into everything with the restaurant.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because my background is all over the place, from my time in the military, and then construction, a driver, I don't know, so many other random little jobs, security for a while, and then thinking, you know what, I'm going to work as a Fed. I'm going to go to school, get my bachelor's in Homeland Security, and now I'm a bartender. So you go from thinking you're going to work as a Fed to running a mobile bar, but
Yeah, those are very different things.
yeah, it's
But-
exciting though.
Some of the stuff you run into in the bartending world, though, probably the Fed background probably is a good thing.
Yeah, now going for my master's in psychology, you were playing therapist sometimes, so.
That's exactly what the role of bartender is you're a therapist, and you're a sounding board for everybody sitting at that bar. And that's a huge part of the job. And that's probably why part of it is you just seamlessly jumped right in, is because you are a problem solver. You're you got to listen to their day. And if you don't listen to their day and you're just, I'm going to pour your drink and set it there, a lot of times people aren't coming back. And that's one weird thing with this industry, is people want to sit at a bar, and not everybody does this, but a lot of people want to sit at a bar and bitch and complain. And you need to be a sounding board for that. But
Yeah. And then on the family side, like Mike said, we are homeschool teachers.
That's so weird.
Parents and teachers, so we homeschool ours and then teach other people's children sometimes. So I have 3 little girls and my oldest is a boy. So we're busy.
It's very busy. And in getting this business going, like, obviously bartending world is nights and weekends, and like we just booked our New Year's Eve, our very first New Year's Eve event for our business. We have inquiries for springtime, summertime, for weddings, hopefully doing like a school fundraiser in the spring. And it's weird times. Both of our wives work full time. They work during the day, and so it's very much a juggling act. And for people that have kids on top of that, and not just like you send your kids to school and then come home. But like we have the luxury of being able to be with our kids during the day, because a lot of times stuff we have is at night.
Yeah.
And we do some events where we did like Daisy Fest, we did Harvest Fest in Clear Lake, where we did a lot of non-alcoholic stuff, which was during the day. But the fun part about that is, like, I think both of those events, our kids were there. They're running behind the bar. They're kind of, just as much the face of things as we are. And so we're in a really blessed situation that way, because it'd be a bummer if we worked in the industry we did. Kids all the time are gone, and then you maybe see them for a little bit, and then we're off to do an event. By the time we're home, they're asleep. And anybody that has worked in this industry knows, like, you don't finish an event or a bartending shift or a serving shift. Like, is it as tired as you are, you don't come home and just go to bed.
No.
Like, that's not a thing.
No.
And I'm sure there's a lot of industries like that, but specifically the hospitality one is your mind is so wired. So by the time you get home, you're up really late.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember coming home just jacked all the time. Like making a pizza. 3:30 in the morning.
You want to be quiet 'cause kids are still sleeping, but then it's like you don't fall asleep till late, and it's not like you can wake up at the crack of dawn to send the kids off to school. Then you don't see them. So we very much are in the luxury of being able to be with our kids a lot while running this. Our wives are overly supportive of it, which is awesome, because I don't think this would work if they didn't.
No, not at all.
No. So it's a huge undertaking, not only for us, but for them, and figuring out the orchestration of, how to facilitate things for a family and business and job. And it's a lot, but it's very much like a family-oriented business for both of us.
Yeah. I don't think, like you said, I don't think it would work, especially like New Year's, when instead of like, I have to work on New Year's Eve and getting, I sent the text, like, we just booked New Year's Eve, and it's, yay, where at, so it's that, I think it's that one step further than even just support.
Yeah.
It's like, they're in it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I mean,
it's our business, not our business.
Yeah. And what'll be fun is, as things go on, and we have so many ideas and everything that will fall under the umbrella of what we do. And I think there's going to be a lot of them as we go on and continue to grow this thing, to be able to introduce them a little bit more. Not maybe so much like, I don't know, that they want to sit on a podcast or be behind a bar, but there's going to be a lot more things that we'll need from them. And I think that, and I say that in a way that I think is going to be good for all of us, in them helping us grow this business and ultimately becoming, hopefully, I mean, maybe our wives don't want that, but eventually becoming a thing where, like, that's what all of us do. I don't know. And again, maybe they don't want to do that, but that's how I feel like we've kind of talked about it, where it's like they'll have integral parts in our business and what we're doing and helping us grow it. And because we all have different strengths in what we do, right? Like,
Yeah.
We've made a couple of really good relationships in the short time we've been doing this business, that we're really excited to share some of the guests that are with. It's like, even thinking about some of them that we've already talked to, like, we're not going to say anything else about it outside of the fact that, like, the fact that we get to sit with some of these people and hear their stories on maybe not just their business they have, but their past, is seems surreal.
I feel almost like a fangirl.
Yeah, right?
Like,
Yeah.
What? No way.
Like-
they want to be on our podcast.
Yeah. Like what?
No
Nah, I
chance.
don't know. And giving some backstory on the business a little bit is like we didn't start this with anybody else's money. Like we've been supported in what we're doing is kind of how I guess the best way to say it. Like we've had people that have not necessarily handed us from hand to hand, here's money, go start this business. But we've been blessed with some awesome people that trusted what we're doing and are going to be doing. So they put some belief behind that. I feel like is the like without going too much into depth with that.
I think the way the support has been is almost better, than being handed, because it's not like, hey, here's a Trump $1 million loan, go ahead and
Have fun with it.
figure it out,
Do your thing.
No, let me kind of just put my faith, because I believe that what you guys are doing is going to pay off.
Yeah.
That, I guess, to me is a lot bigger than going to somebody who could potentially have who knows how much money. Finding an investor that's just like, let me just give you guys some money. Getting a check from mom or dad to go ahead and but if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But I said, actually just putting that confidence, I guess, that what we're doing is going to work, and I don't know. That's wild.
It is. And I like kind of you said, I feel like that's more important, and that almost means more, makes you work harder. So we have some awesome people behind us in all of this, but we're doing it all extremely organically, like a little bit slower. So making sure each step we take is a concrete step. So we know, like, if something does happen, we can only fall so far because we built such a solid base for this, versus either somebody starting this business for us and taking over a business that, whether it's a family member or, a friend, somebody else built, and then you just kind of either buy that business or you swoop in and take over that business. Like everything we're doing is very slow, methodical, but it's all done by us and the team we have working with us, and that's pretty special.
Right. Well, and with that, it's like we started off with kind of this one vision, and this is what we think we can do, and then we kind of shifted a little bit, and then I feel like after we talked to like a couple people, we ended up shifting away from what we had thought originally.
Yeah.
And when like, well, let's hyper focus here. And I feel like we found out pretty quick that no, we need to go back to what we were originally going to do and focus on that.
Yeah.
But it's not like we tried and tried and tried and tried and then we failed. It was just, no, hold on. Before we go too far right here, let's look at this again, and being able to shift back, because we're not just like, let's throw a bunch of money in, get all this stuff, and just start trying to push it out and trying to advertise and like, I mean, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
And we are growing, but I couldn't imagine if we had put kind of all of our eggs in that one basket and we're like, let's just do this because that's what other people said is the big way to go.
Well, and the crazy part about that is I feel like that almost felt like almost quicker money, because it was larger sums, like, whether it's doing an event. I mean, we're going to be as open as we can in all of this conversation. So part of that is like, doing an event, you get like money right away in a bigger sum, versus a big part of our business, like we said in the intro a little bit, is we make cocktail syrups, and we do everything extremely clean, organic ingredients, no syrups, no additives, no dyes, no high fructose, nothing, no garbage. And so like that was kind of the first route. And then it was like, well, we can make larger sums of money putting all of our time into doing events. And then like we got events right away, but like for somebody just to randomly, until you fully understand what we do as a business or understand us, like things have gotten a lot easier and people are starting to understand what we do. And then once we're at an event and they can feel the vibe of like, I'm just going to be straight up and say it. Like, and I don't know how this is going to come across, but like when you have us at an event, like we're a vibe at an event. Like
the amount of people, and to be fair, it's not necessarily just him saying it. The amount of other people that have said, like, I think the biggest word we hear all the time is elevate.
Mm-hmm.
You elevated
Yes,
our event so much just by having your bar there.
Yeah. And our bar is not just like you get, a portable bar and you randomly just like you set up this little kitted bar somewhere. Like we bought our bar, we redid the entire thing, we restained it. Like Seth made a big mustache for the front of it. We mounted it on the front. We'll put up a couple pictures of our entire setup because our setup is not one you see anywhere.
No.
So not even just having, I feel like our skill level at an event, but also just the presentation of everything it's not your ordinary bar.
No.
So it's, yeah.
And then that just us together, like we became best friends, I would say probably 5 months into knowing each other.
Yeah.
Because we just vibed.
Yeah.
And I mean, our wives say it all the time that we're the same person, but
yeah,
it's because we're a vibe.
And
like, anybody that knows us together, like generally you see one of us, the other one's short distance behind.
somewhere in the general vicinity.
Or you make a certain sound and the other one's
dude, it truly did. Like when even our first interview, I remember it was like we sat down, did the interview, and it was like I remember the interview was done. I'm like, I like this. I don't even know this dude. I like this guy.
Yeah.
And it's just from day one was a vibe. And you'll hear us say that word 1,000 times, but it's very much when we do events, that's what it's like. And that, like you said, like the feedback we get from people is exactly that. So I don't even know where we were at before we went on this little tangent, but doing I remember. So doing the events, like things have gotten a lot better. Again, we booked New Year's. We have some stuff this fall. Just booked another one up in the Twin Cities area for next month. And that, I think those things are going to move really quick once people truly understand what we do and they get to experience an event with us. But the syrups, that's a huge part of our business. And people now, like, just get messages today of people that have bought our syrups and tried it, and they're just mind blown at how good it is.
Yeah.
And that's a testament to the clean ingredients, I think, is a huge part of it. Us being able to mix the proportions. And I don't know how this is a thing, but I feel like we have a knack for doing an event and somebody, like our very first one we did, we set up on somebody's patio shortly after we launched, and we did like a backyard party. And so it was 60 people maybe.
Yeah.
And somebody came up and they're like, what can you do with Captain? What can you make with Captain Morgan? That's not just a Captain Coke. And so we figured out, we made a cocktail with it, and we ended up selling, there was what they called it, like the Captain something. And then they'd come back to the bar and they're like, I'll just get the Captain something, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And so
not like they said something and we don't remember what they said.
Yeah.
Literally the words were Captain something.
and we make the same thing every time. And so I feel like we very much have a knack for doing that. I mean, the groom's dinner we did.
Yeah.
Like
the Dirty Koopa.
The Dirty Koopa. We did a mocktail that was like kind of Mario themed, and people all of a sudden we started to mix booze back in it. And typically with the mocktail, this will be another side quest here. Like typically with mocktails, like When we make ours and formulate a mocktail, we try to do it with flavors and ingredients that the presentation looks like a cocktail. It tastes somewhat like a cocktail. You're not just like you don't just have a glass of juice or a glass of soda where you're sitting like. Sometimes people they for whatever their reason they don't drink. They don't have alcohol, but they want to be able to still feel. I don't care what anybody says. Like there's still something socially that when there's a big group of people standing there and they all either have a beer, a cocktail, or something, there's something about like almost the acceptance into that. Where if I walk up with a Diet Coke and everybody has cocktails,
Like you're that weirdo.
you're the like, why are you just drinking a Diet Coke?
Yeah.
You know, and maybe that's all you want, and that's fine. But when we make mocktails, like we want everybody to be able to feel included, whether it's like anybody can sit at that seat of the bar and not feel awkward.
Well, and even with people who there's a lot of people that used to drink, like myself included,
Yeah,
where like now if I drink a mocktail, like, and it's one of ours, where I mean the only thing missing is that little bit of a burn, that
Yeah.
little bit of a bite, but I mean you're getting the full profile of a cocktail minus that.
yeah.
That I mean, you can't really beat that.
No, because then you'd feel great the next day. And I do drink alcohol, and like I've learned in all of this, like I drink far less. No, I'm not even gonna say that because then it sounds like I have a problem. I drink far less than I used to, for sure. But no, like
But I mean, really, like most people, I feel like, especially
yeah,
dudes that went to college,
right.
dudes that were the ages of 21 to 24, I would say the majority, once you get into your 30s, can say, I drink less than I used to.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause
So,
for sure.
and I definitely do, and it's crazy. Like you still get that experience because, again, when we make a mocktail, that certain maybe burn or, like I mean, burn's just a good word for it, I guess. The bitterness almost that alcohol does in a cocktail, we replace that with other things on a healthier side that are non-alcoholic to still give that cocktail some complexity, some depth to it, so you're not just drinking a glass of juice, which we just had somebody say at an event that they wanted alcohol, and we did it, and we were doing an event in Iowa, and we were just doing mocktails, and somebody came up and they're like, I'm not gonna spend that money on just a glass of juice. Yet if you were there a little bit earlier or a little bit later. Today's episode is selfishly sponsored by Mustache Mixology. We're a mobile bartending company. We are based in the southern portion of Minnesota, but we travel all over to do events ranging from weddings, corporate functions, fundraisers.
Worldwide.
Worldwide. Step Brother style. So we will travel everywhere. We're fully mobile right now. So we pull a trailer with us. We got a bar. We can either set up shop at a existing bar you already have. We can take a bar out. We can place it in your house, your garage, your deck, your pool deck, your back patio, or we have our full trailer. We're still kind of finishing the trailer up, but you can get the full trailer experience. We have 3 different options for mobile bartending. You can head to mustachemixology.com to check out a little bit more info, or you can check us out on Instagram and Facebook at Mustache Mixology. So with that, let's get back to the episode. Our camera filled. And so now we restarted it and took a bathroom break and forgot our tangent we're on. The complexity of a mocktail, inclusiveness at the bar. Yeah, we'll leave it at that, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But
Everybody's welcome.
Everybody
likes to drink different things.
Right.
Some people don't drink.
That's fine. You'll still get the full experience when we work an event. Like
Yeah. I mean, even the kids.
we did a kid's birthday party.
And they slapped some gold coins down and
Yeah.
got some mocktails.
So everybody can be included on the vibe. What other directions we want to go? Episode 1. I mean, we did a little bit with our. We'll do a shameless. Today's episode is sponsored by Mustache Mixology. This sweatshirt's actually not on the website yet. But hat is, Seth's hat is, that sweatshirt is not. That's a little custom one. But today's episode will be sponsored by none other than Mustache Mixology. So we do have at our website, we'll put the website right here. Plus, we'll link it in the description box down below. But we do have some merch. We got some t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats. Kind of adding new things all the time. We have some new ones that are going to come out. We really should do I don't know how we do the one. Like, can you just sell a hoodie with that? Like the one we're going to do? Like, I don't know how that works.
I don't know the
legalities behind that.
Like, it's not copyright.
Like, it's just a photo.
It's literally the best, though.
It's perfect because it's once you guys will see it in some capacity, whether we can sell it and offer it to you guys. Otherwise, we both are gonna make one and wear it. So it's like I feel like it was a big thing we like connected on right away. Plus, in the photo, the person has a stash. I suppose we could go into a little bit with that. We get people all the time, even when we do events. There's mustaches everywhere. Like the hat is just a stash. Here's a stash. We have a stash. Seth has a stash. Like we have stashes, but we still get people all the time. They're like, "Oh, so what is? Where did you come up with Mustache Mixology?"
And I can't even remember. So we were working an event, and we had talked at pretty much every event after that first one.
Yeah.
It's like we worked that first one together and just kind of learned each other a little bit, like the vibe built that first one, and then like our second one, we were like, dude, it'd be sick to just do this all the time, like nothing else.
And we weren't in a position to where where we were at, like they didn't have a lot of events, especially ones where we could both bartend.
Right.
And so then we're like, we didn't even have the opportunity really to do a bunch of them right away. And then each one we did do, that's where it was like, we should just do more of this.
Yeah. And then whatever, like I said, I can't remember what event that was or why we would both have epic mustaches.
What I will say is I specifically remember showing up early. We were in the lobby. The event coordinator was there, and we were all sitting there talking, and we had like pretty epic mustaches. And then I remember we did the event, and afterwards we were like carrying stuff around and moving stuff around, and I remember exactly where we were all standing because they were there too. There's the three of us, and we were standing right there, and we're like, this would be sick if we did this on the side at the time. Like, let's do this on the side, and we'll call it Mustache Mixology.
Yeah.
Like, I very vividly remember that conversation.
Dude, I can't remember what event it was.
I don't remember if it was
until we started this, I've never in my life been like, you know what I should do? I should have a mustache.
And I remember the reluctancy of because for us, it was like, yeah, no brainer. Classy, like the kind of the gentleman's feel, like it was a no brainer for us.
Yeah.
And I remember we like pitching it to our wives of like, this is what we want to do. This would be the name. And I feel like, at least from my side, the conversation I had right away was like, yeah. And then when the realization sank in that in some capacity, always have to have a mustache, I remember Betsy being like, so like that's, you're for sure going to run with that name. Because like that's a thing now, yeah. Right? Like, and I feel like we're both like you got a solid one right now.
Yeah.
Like that right now.
Well, I had it kind of curled earlier, but it was uneven. So I think I got to trim up this side a little bit.
Like that's a good, like that right there is a lot darker than mine. I've always really had kind of like a goatee. I can't really grow a great beard. But then I'll take it off and have just a mustache, and then like it'll grow back in between events, like you just kind of let it grow.
Yeah.
But like yours right now, especially on camera, like that looks like a lot of times when people have a stash, they'll like talk about how it looks like a broom. Like that is not just like that's like a private school broom at like an academy. Like, like the janitor that sweeps the basketball floor at halftime has like an academy private school broom. That's what that is.
It creates for a perfect disappointed dad face.
Just kind of
the lips got to disappear under it a little bit. I actually started to grow the beard back out.
You had a big. It was solid.
But one, the maintenance because I like it to be soft. I don't want it scratchy. And two, when I used to be larger by 60 pounds, and I had a very round face, and I had just an epic beard.
Yeah.
You couldn't see my face. But now, like, my double chin is gone, and I have somewhat of a jawline. I'm like, man, I can't hide it now.
Got to show it off. It's hard work.
Yeah, and I did just a goatee, and I looked like a 45-year-old angry father and just mad about my fries spilling my Burger King bag all the time. I was like, oh boy. I don't have the face for this.
I couldn't even imagine my face with a full beard. Like my younger brother, and my older brother can too. Actually, both of them can grow a pretty legit beard. My dad, sorry, Pop, but my dad not so much. And that's definitely where I'm at. Where like, if you feel it, like if you close your eyes and like went like this and felt it, you'd be like, oh yeah, this dude's got a beard.
So to all blind people,
I have a great,
nice beard.
I have a great even beard. If you feel too close, though, it's pretty patchy. So I've always just ran this, but I feel like they're very much accepting of the stash now. Our wives, that is.
Yeah.
People at events love it. It seems like.
Well, the kids too. I remember when I had this thing. It hung down over my top lip. It was gross. But I went to trim it up. And I don't know, wasn't paying attention and thought that I had a guard on and I was going to trim it and just took half of it off. So I had to shave it off. And all the kids were like, what did you do?
Why did you do that?
Why's your face that way? Make your face not that.
Who are you? And why does your face look like that?
Yeah.
Dude, that's how I felt after I got a haircut. I got shaped up one day. And the haircut was solid, but then I didn't vocalize, I guess, that like the stash is part of me. It's part of my job, part of my business. It's like the dude cleaned my hair up, and then in one swift motion, I didn't even have a second to say anything. It was just like, and tidied it up and brought it down to like, you could still feel hair there, but it was brought down to nothing. And it was like, I remember sitting there for the next 10, 15 minutes where I was like, oh God, oh my God. Oh God!
Are you okay? You okay, man?
Yeah, you took. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. That was. I remember. That was
definitely something you got to ask somebody though.
Right?
You don't just like I'm here for a haircut, and then you just hit my upper lip.
Just straight, bro. And like again, it happened so fast. Where like I didn't even have a second to be like, you hit right here, and then like, oh, hold on.
Yeah.
I need to keep that.
I think if it was like stubble, then I guess maybe clean it up because that person obviously keeps it shaved all the time.
Yeah.
But I feel like once the stash is growing, it's like this is on the same level as my eyebrows. Like you don't just buzz my eyebrows off.
Take them off.
Just cleaning them all up.
No Come way. Out of there barefaced. Dude, I remember the first stash I grew back when this would have been. So my parents owned restaurants growing up. And my buddy and I, he could grow a better mustache than me. And like mine was like it's like 8 hairs, and let it get long to where for me I was like, I felt like Tom Selleck. Like I felt like I had this big, just mean stash, but it was not. And we had this meeting for work, and it was after the restaurant closed, and somebody from corporate with this particular restaurant was coming in, so we all had to go in for this meeting. And we thought it'd be hilarious to do the jet black just for men. So my buddy at the time, like, dude, Kyle had a legit stash. So it was like it was like a big, it looks like yours right now. And mine, I had like the 8 hairs were jet black, but then the rest of my upper lip was beet red. She got fried from the Just for Men. And we thought it'd be hilarious. Like, we were going to walk into this meeting and just people are going to be like, oh my, look at that stash. How do you have a stash like that? And dude, I think most people were like, what happened to your face? Like, did you get burned? Did you get burned? It was
fall and catch yourself with your face on the oven. Your hair is burnt.
That's literally what happened. But now it's came in pretty good now. My hair's a lighter color, but
Yeah, that when I shaved yesterday, this was pretty long, and the white hairs are unreal. This industry.
it truthfully, like, I had very few white/gray hairs in my beard, and this industry, in opening a restaurant and the stress of opening this restaurant and working the hours and days that the schedule ended up being, I came out of that right now where you can't see it, but from this far away, but when you look up close, I have so many whites and grays, and like, there's no chance. I feel like I live a healthy enough lifestyle to where, like, there's no way it should age that much that quickly.
No.
There's no chance.
I am
no chance.
in counting like all of my time in the military. Like,
Dude, and you
17 years old at basic training. Like, you should come out of that in pretty phenomenal shape, and I did.
Yeah.
But I would argue that I am in better shape, and like, I eat healthier. Like, I don't drink. I'm pretty healthy.
Yeah.
Overall, I don't even 75% better now than I was at 17 years old, fresh out of basic training.
Yeah.
And I still had, in 8 months, whites show up.
Dude, it's crazy.
Like, I don't know, the stress.
So let's side quest. I don't know how much you want to get into, like, the military background and things, but like, you said it was 12 years, right?
12 years in the infantry.
And so, yeah, you would think that the stress of that, because you were active overseas, like the whole night. And this is for people that don't, haven't met you before, and are maybe a first time viewer of us. But like, if you want to give a brief background of it, maybe not. I mean,
Sure, I guess the quick of my life from 17 or a little bit before. So I had actually dropped out of high school, which I guess most people, I feel like, wouldn't think that. But I dropped out a month into sophomore year.
okay, and mind you, he's getting his master's right now in psychology.
Yeah.
So,
So dropped out, worked for a little bit, knowing that as soon as I could, I would just join the military. And so I ended up joining at 17. Went to basic. I actually got out of basic. I would have been 18. And then in 2010, 2011. Man, I don't even know when I was deployed. It was so long ago now.
right.
I was deployed to Iraq for a year, and then came home and just kind of trained, and yeah.
I feel like that's a big part of, as we continue to expand and grow this business, the ideas that we kind of talked about. We have so many things that we're not going to get into much detail about right now, but the growth that our business is going to have in all of these different facets, like, you can tell, like the leadership style and the experience, just the sheer experience alone that you would have gotten from doing that for 12 years is going to be really cool for people to see and learn more of. And
yeah, I would say that's where I got, never really been a people person, which is also crazy to be bartending and enjoying it as much as I do. I definitely get like gassed out. Like, the next day I'm like, hey guys, what if we just closed all of the windows and doors and didn't leave the house at all? Like, the mailman comes, let's hide. That'll be really fun.
drop to the floor, like.
But like, I think I got a lot of my actual just ability to talk to anybody from I mean, the military is just a melting pot of people.
Yeah.
You have people from like literally all different walks of life, and I found it to be really interesting to kind of talk with everybody, be social, I guess, and I don't know. It was like a love-hate, but at the same time, the skills that you gain from it, I feel like are the skills you don't even realize it. Like, I was infantry, so it's not like a lot of the actual technical skills I gained are gonna benefit. We're not clearing rooms in a restaurant. it's a lot of guys that come out of the infantry, like the for myself, feel like a lot of people would agree. A lot of those skills are more personality driven, where you learn how to speak to anybody in any situation, and the leadership that you learn even from thinking of being a private and looking back on the leaders that I really loved, and then the leaders that I was like, why do you exist? There's so many different leaders that you have as you grow yourself. So then you can, hopefully by the time you're in a leadership role, you can be the leader that, you really liked. But then at the same time, you get these different guys from different walks of life, and you have to kind of change that leadership. You can't just be that guy for everybody.
Yeah.
And then, old army, the older guys, it's like just kind of like that badass, strict, like just yell at everybody.
I feel like something that you see in a movie.
Yeah.
Maybe. Like people's impression that, like, I didn't serve at all. But I feel like what's the word?
Like the Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
Like everybody's getting yelled at all the time, and that works to an extent.
Yeah.
Sometimes people need somebody to talk to, and so then being able to be, I kind of, two of my key leaders that I had from pretty much the time I got to my unit, and then one had retired, and the other one stayed for most of the time that I was there. He retired like shortly before I got out, and I kind of meshed the two of them. One was a really angry fella, and the other one was a lot more chill, but still pretty intense. But and either one of those guys, I mean, especially after deploying, and you build kind of that respect and stuff. It's not as hard as everybody thinks it is.
Yeah.
And so guys can still talk and stuff. And I feel like that's the leader I was, or at least tried to be, where you're intense when you need to be intense, but like, dude, it's just calm down. Just be chill. And so then kind of taking that into leadership outside of the military. And it was tough for me in the restaurant side. I feel like a lot of restaurants are like more heavily staffed with females.
Yeah.
And so going from pretty much every job I've had where I've been a leader over like a majority dudes.
Yeah.
And then so trying to be in charge of all females was the hardest part.
Integrate that into being in charge of females and like doing it in the setting of like a cafe.
Yeah.
It's very different.
Wild.
Very different.
Wild. Yeah. So, but because I like kind of dove into like, how do I be a good leader? And now in school for psychology, with like pretty much every big project and stuff I do, I like to focus on like leadership.
Yeah.
And trying to be a lot softer, I guess, on that side. And the intensity is still there, but which some people, they get scared of it and think you're too intense or can't say something. But yeah, I think overall it was worth the 12 years. I kind of wish I would have went 20, but
yeah,
8 years is a long time.
That's a long.
8 Army years I feel like is really like at least 16.
Double it.
Normal.
Yeah. Well, and what I'll say is somebody with very much a hospitality background is like, I feel like the transition, and this is my perspective because I don't have the military background and that, seeing it from that side, but somebody who has the hospitality background, like I feel like that was a great transition from like the things you learned in that way to having life behind the bar, but bringing it to behind the bar and into that world is like the amount of times where stuff would be wild. Like the chaos of opening a restaurant, like until you've ever worked in it or done it, like it's wild. And the amount of times where things could be so crazy, but I specifically remember you saying multiple times, like it is just a restaurant. Like it's just food. People are out eating. So with a lot of these young guys and girls that we worked with that would get so worked up on a Friday night where the line, like within a little bit of time, we'd be on a wait, restaurant's full. Like for them, it's their first time getting into really any job, but especially in the restaurant world, where like if you're in the weeds on a Friday, Saturday, like that at the time, it feels like you're never going to get out of it.
Yeah.
And for somebody that's never done it and you're younger, it's maybe your first job, and your first job from not doing anything to now you're in the weeds on a Friday night at a brand new restaurant with a new concept. Like it feels like it'll never end. And the amount of times that I would hear you tell, even because at the time you were just serving and bartending, and the amount of times I'd hear you telling other servers and bartenders, like, dude, it's just all we're doing is making drinks right now. All we're doing is bringing food. There's only so much we can personally control front of the house because you have back of the house that have tickets that are a mile long. Like we can't regulate any of that. We can't do anything about that. So let's just put focus on what's right in front of us. Like we're bringing people pizza. Yeah. We're bringing people cocktails. And to see people then like instantly calm down, I feel like that's where it was a really good kind of transition to the life behind the bar a little bit, and what made it so seamless from my perspective, seeing you make that very seamless jump into this world. I would credit a lot of it to that. So.
Yeah, I distinctly remember saying that so many times.
Yeah.
Like, and the looks on some people's faces when it's like, I feel like when somebody's freaking out and they come to you with it, they almost want you to be like, oh my God. Like, how are we going to do this?
Share in the misery of it.
But like these like servers would be standing there and just like deer in the headlights. I'm like, hey, it's fine. It's literally just a restaurant.
You're literally bringing people to say.
It's all good, dude. It like no one here is under attack. Like they're fine. If somebody's like, I mean, really though, if somebody was starving to death, they hadn't eaten in a month or something. I don't know why you would go to a restaurant, but sure. Or somebody's choking, but even still, like if they're choking, you help them out, and then they're not choking anymore,
and then we're good.
Okay. And just keep going, just keep pouring. Like we got to. If you spend time freaking out, then you're not doing your job. So do your job and then freak out.
Yeah.
Like you can be intense all you want afterward. Like if you gotta cry, that's fine. Yeah, but you just can't do it right now.
Go in the alley when you're done.
Let's get through this, and then you can go cry. But like I'll run the drinks to your table for you, whatever you need. But like right now, we got to get through this.
Yeah.
And people just freak out all the time,
dude. That again the amount of like the feeling of being in the weeds in the hospitality world as a bartender, like when you'd have 20-30 tickets lined up, like it feels like you're never going to get out of that. But if you use your tools, you use the skills you have, you use everything you have in front of you, like you can work through it very methodical. You can creep to it. Sure, you don't want people waiting 45 minutes for drinks, which shockingly happened more times than I would ever even want to. Like I can't even comprehend that. But like you just work through your stuff, be done with it, you're done, it's good. And then the feeling of when you get out of the weeds is, I mean, that's the best.
Yeah.
So if you can keep composure during it, keep your head at a level space.
I remember a couple times having people sitting at the bar, and you just got tickets, start printing. Like, restaurant opens, everybody sat down, everybody orders, the servers are putting them all in at the same time, and like, just grab them. It's fine. Like, I'm not listening to that town, so I just grab a ticket, throw it down, boom, that one's done. Then you can grab a couple, line them up, see what you got. All right, cake, no problem. Get them done, grab the next couple, and people are like, "You're just like so calm right now." I would be freaking out hearing that printing behind me. And then I remember one lady, I was like, "It's just music. Wait for it." And then it started to print, and that started to shake with it printing. Hey, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. Like, you see how fast I'm putting these out? And like, she just couldn't believe how fast I was making the drinks.
Yeah.
But I wasn't making them fast. I was just making them. Like,
You're
if you
consistently
just find your pace. You don't have to go quick. If you go quick, it's not going to taste right.
Yeah.
But just make it. Again, don't spend time freaking out. Just do it. Do your job, and it'll be all right.
I like if you get the mile-long tickets and you just take 5 or 6 of them, lay them down, do the 5 or 6, then grab them, versus, like, it can be intimidating when all of a sudden you pull 30 tickets and set 30 tickets on your bar, and all of a sudden now, subconsciously, you're like, holy shit, how am I going to work through this right now?
Right. And well, then you lose one because you're trying to do too much.
Which we've seen happen.
Freaked out, jumped the gun, grabbed the flag of tickets, and think that they're all going to make it onto the bar. That is probably also wet now.
And it's also, it's your workspace.
Yeah.
And then you have people at the bar that see you do that, and then they see you get rattled. They can see it. A patron at a bar that sits there, and especially with the drinks we were making at this particular place, like, they can look at you and see instantly in your eyes, like, I don't care if you've been bartending a long time, they'll see you get rattled.
Yeah.
And so that's, again, looping back, I think that's the most impressive part about, like, getting in and being so young to the industry, is just that the level of calmness. And I think that's one thing that works really well with us, because there's been plenty of times where I started and I would pull the whole flag of tickets and then try to work through them, and I'm sure people could see it in my face, the level of stress. Like, I don't really get that anymore. So now I feel like that's why we work really well together in doing events, and it doesn't matter. We've had, a line almost as far as you can see, and it's like, you deal with the person right in front of you, maybe start the one behind you if you notice, okay, this guy's been up here before, this lady's been up here before, I know that's what they're going to get. And while you're doing something, you grab that beer, hand it to them. Like, that's why we work really well. And I feel like that's why you should hire us to do your events.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe. It really is. And here, slide this way a little bit. There you go. And I think that's what works. It just works so well. So that's kind of a little bit of a background of us with Mustache Mixology, with my backstory, with Seth's backstory. And again, we're going to dive into kind of all the crazy hecticness that is the hospitality world.
I think going forward, it might be less informative sometimes.
Yeah.
We're not going to always just tell you guys about us and why we are the way we are.
Yeah.
We'll probably get into a lot more life.
And I think you guys are going to learn you're going to learn stuff you probably didn't even care to learn, but you're going to find it hilarious, because I feel like everything, like, I don't know, as things go on, it's going to get a lot more, like, playful, I guess. We'll make some cocktails during it and show you guys more into, like, the bartending world itself, and then obviously having some guests on and learning their stories and stuff. But for sure, this first episode, wanting to kind of give you guys that don't know us a little bit of some backstory and back history, and then some of the shenanigans that you hear throughout this podcast will make a lot more sense as time goes on.
I feel like they'll learn more about us just watching us, even, and telling them the facts of life.
Yeah, they're gonna start to see. You'll get a little taste of that vibe if we've never been at an event, or you haven't been at an event that we've been at. But yeah, we're kind of using today as that introduction to you guys, introduction into episode 1. Again, we're going to shoot for 1 episode a week, but we'll kind of see what happens. With this world, everything's very unpredictable. We booked an event last minute, just a couple days ago, and it's a couple weeks away, but if things pop up, if somebody's like, hey, last minute, are you guys available, this Friday to do an event?
Yeah, would we have a couple days for a wedding?
Yeah.
A couple days notice?
Yeah. So the unpredictability is there, but that's what we're going to shoot for. So hopefully you guys learned a little bit about us. You learned a little bit about our business, and you're going to hit that subscribe button. We're going to put it right here. Hit the subscribe button to the channel. Follow along. You'll get a notification. Make sure your little bell notification if you're watching on YouTube. YouTube's going to be, you'll be able to find our podcast on everywhere, Spotify, Apple. It'll all be on there, the audio part. But especially as we get into growing this thing and doing some cocktails, my favorite outlet is YouTube. So hit that little bell, the notification, so you'll get an alert. It says, hey, the Life Behind the Bar podcast came out with a new episode. We are going to put out some videos on the same channel for the Mustache Mixology part of things, so you'll see us at events. We try to film content while we're doing different ones, but it doesn't always work. But be sure to hit the red subscribe button. Be sure to hit the notification bell, and then check out mustachemixology.com. Episode 1. I thought it went good.
We did it.
We did it. It's done. That a babe. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next week. Bye.